Welcome to Explore Music, where we discover and learn about traditional and cultural music of specific regions or countries of the world. Today, we're exploring the musical culture of Lithuania. Lithuania is a country located in the Baltic region of Eastern Europe, bordering Latvia, Russia, Poland, and Ukraine. Starting in the early medieval period, the Baltic tribes, ancestors of the Lithuanians, formed distinct communities resisting Teutonic and Livonian orders forces in the 13th century. The Union of Craiova in 1387 marked Lithuania's relatively late conversion to Christianity and its union with Poland, evolving into the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Flourishing culturally, the Commonwealth faced challenges leading to its decline in the 17th–18th centuries. Subsequently, Lithuania endured partitions, following under Russian rule, but experiencing brief independence post-World War I. The tumultuous mid-20th century brought Nazi occupation, Soviet control, and finally, in 1990, Lithuania declared independence from the Soviet Union. The post-Soviet era has seen economic growth, democratic reforms, and integration into the European Union and NATO. Today, Lithuania stands as a resilient nation, rooted in its cultural heritage with a commitment to democracy, economic development, and international cooperation. Baltic mythology features a pantheon of deities such as Perkunas, the thunder god, and Gemina, the earth goddess. Mythical creatures like Velnias and benevolent spirits like Glaumus populate folklore, representing both dark and light forces in the cosmos. Rituals and festivals, including solstice celebrations and harvest rituals, are integral to Baltic mythology, honoring nature's cycles and agricultural traditions. Despite centuries of cultural change, Baltic mythology persists, inspiring modern interest in ancient beliefs and fostering a connection to the natural world and ancestral heritage. Some early evidence of this are war songs from the 13th through 16th centuries detailing the battles against the Teutonic Knights. There are also documented songs for nearly every aspect of Lithuanian daily life and work throughout the last millennium. Two important vocal traditions derive from Lithuania, the first being Sutartines, and the second one, Laments. Sutartines are ancient multi-part songs characterized by intricate polyphonic singing. They were traditionally only sung by women and were often used in various social and ritual contexts, including work songs, wedding ceremonies, and seasonal celebrations. Sutartines feature repetitive melodies and complex rhythmic patterns, reflecting the agricultural rhythms and communal spirit of traditional Lithuanian life. Lamentations, or raudos, are mournful songs expressing grief and sorrow. The two main types are used at funerals or weddings. There are no particular lamenting songs, but it was expected that women improvise. Wedding laments are usually performed by the bride to give thanks and say goodbye to her parents. In the region of Jukia, weddings traditionally begin with a lament of the first bridesmaid. The instrumental side of Lithuanian sutartines have been predominantly performed by males. Conclaves are the most archaic of Lithuanian string instruments and were thought to have been associated with death. Lithuanians believed that in order to make sonorous conclaves, the wood from which they were crafted had to be cut from a mature forest on the day that a loved one died. As the household mourned, the wood acquired depth and soul. Conclaves were played using the fingers or a wooden pick, and they could be classified into three types according to the number of strings, playing technique, and repertoire. The pusline is made from a tree branch bowed by a catgut or wax string. A dried, inflated pig's bladder containing a handful of dried peas is fitted between the branch and the string. A bow is then drawn across the string to produce a bass sound. Cymbali, or a hammered dulcimer, are mentioned in Lithuanian historical sources as early as the 16th century. Single, double, or triple metal strings are stretched across the body, attached with tacks and metal pegs. The strings are struck with two wooden hammers. Various dance melodies were played solo or with an ensemble on the cymbali. The instrument has survived to the present day in the region of Suvalkia and Jukia. Smuikas, or the Lithuanian fiddle, is one of the most popular imported instruments. Lithuanian fiddles were both factory-made and homemade, and were often played by either a single musician or in a village band. The Dudu Maishish, or Laborno Duda, is a Lithuanian bagpipe with a single chanter and drone. The Lithuanian bagpipe was traditionally played at a variety of events, including May Day festivities and spring caroling. The bagpipes are mentioned in written sources beginning in the 16th century. It was known throughout the territory of Lithuania, but by the middle of the 20th century, it survived only near the eastern borders of Lithuania. Skuduchai are one of the most popular Lithuanian folk instruments. Traditionally, they were not tied together, but played separately by a group of several musicians. Skuduchai were tuned using an ancient means of measuring height, according to the palm finger's length ratio. Dawadites, a type of Lithuanian wooden trumpet, are found only in northeastern Aukštaitija. They are made of a split tree, leaving the wood intact at the thin end for a mouthpiece. A set is made up of two dawadites, which are tuned in unison and at intervals of a second or fourth. A birbynė is a Lithuanian aerophone that is usually a single reed and may or may not have a mouthpiece. It has a soft tone and has evolved similarly to a modern clarinet. A neighbor instrument of the birbynė is the sekminio regulis. It has more of a nasal tone and was an integral part of a shepherd's life. Similar Lithuanian instruments were made of wood or animal horns, including the rachioragas, kryžiaus trimitas, medžioklis ragas, and the ožragas. Another important folk instrument is the molinukas, or Lithuanian ocarinas, often made in the shape of an animal or a figure. A lamstelis is an instrument similar to a recorder made of wood or bark. It has 3 to 6 tone holes. Lamsteli were used by shepherds to play intricate melodies or to play folk songs and dances. The shvilpa is a short-lived instrument made from a tree branch or trunk. For the instrument to last longer, it had to be made from sturdier wood or metal. It doesn't have playing holes, so the sound is made by covering or uncovering the ending of the whistle. The sound is low and soft, often affected by noise impurities depending on the blowing technique. Like many other Lithuanian folk instruments, the shvilpa was beloved by shepherds who used to whistle improvisational melodies, folk songs, and dances. The skrabalai is a Lithuanian folk-tuned percussion instrument consisting of wooden bells. Trapezoid-shaped wooden blocks of various sizes are played with 2 wooden sticks. Skrabalai used to be tied to the neck of farm animals so that one could hear and know where they were grazing. They have evolved now into a more musical percussion instrument. Another native percussion instrument is the tabalai. It was an instrument used to announce the driving of a herd, to call people to a gathering, the sauna or a meal, or to report a fire or other important events. Various types of rattles and shakers exist in traditional Lithuanian music such as the turkšlė and the kleketas. The turkšlė uses a box that is spun around the handle, causing the wood to clatter with a sharp, loud sound, similar to a modern ratchet. This was an instrument used to drive a herd of animals or to frighten away birds. The claquetas are similar, but uses a crank handle. It was used in cowherd rituals as well as in church ceremonies. Other Lithuanian percussion instruments include the šaukštai, the spoons, būgnas, traditional Lithuanian drums, and the dambrilis, or the jaw harp. Lithuanian folk dances are distinguished for their symmetry in the music, the movements, the pattern, and construction of the dances. Most of the steps are performed in pairs, and when the melody is repeated, the pattern of the dance also repeats. In most choreographies, the dancers are distributed symmetrically on the dance floor, with an equal number of couples or dancers. If there's a soloist dancing in the middle of the floor, the other dancers form a circle or semicircle. Though there are a large number of varied movements in Lithuanian folk dance, most are executed with the feet, fewer with the hands, and very few with the head and the body. The movements are light and gentle, never angular. Even in the faster dances, the turns are not sharp. A few popular dances include the Jigunas, Rugučiau, Oira, and Kepe Močia Blinus, or the Pancake Song. The end of the 19th century brought a surge of nationalism and pride in one's heritage and culture. Mikalajus Konstantinas Čiurlionis was an influential Lithuanian artist, writer, and composer around the turn of the century, creating about 400 musical works and 300 paintings. At a young age, he was considered a musical prodigy, playing organ, piano, and flute. He studied at the Warsaw Institute of Music and the Warsaw School of Fine Arts, being heavily involved with both composing and painting. Though he was born in what was then Russia and spoke Polish, Chirleonis dedicated his works to Lithuania in 1906 and was invited to participate in the start of the Lithuanian Art Society. He considered himself a synesthete, one who perceives art and music simultaneously, and contributed much to the early abstract world of art before his untimely death in 1911. Mikas Petrauskas was a composer best known for creating the first Lithuanian opera, Birutė. Petrauskas studied at the St. Peter Conservatory, where he wrote and staged the first Lithuanian operettas. Trouble with the Tsarist police, seeing as Petrukas was in favor of the revolution, forced him to leave. He ended up in the United States, where he lived in Chicago, New York City, and Boston. In each city, he organized Lithuanian choirs and stage productions of his works. He returned to Lithuania in 1930, where he lived the rest of his life. Bronius Kutavičius was an important 20th century Lithuanian contemporary composer. He studied at the Lithuanian State Conservatory in Vilnius and has become an important figure in promoting Lithuanian folk music, culture, and beliefs. He wrote numerous oratorios and operas, among them The Last Pagan Rites, The Gates of Jerusalem, and Locus. His works have been commemorated for their ability to depict ancient and cultural Lithuanian beliefs and stories through modern musical practices. Other modern Lithuanian composers include Osvaldas Balakaukas, Onutė Naurotate, and Vytautas Miškinis, who continue to bring international fame and attention to the culture and heritage of Lithuania. Popular music in Lithuania had a difficult beginning due to the repression by the Soviet Union. Nonetheless, Lithuanian rock music emerged during the late 1960s and continued through the century. The first Lithuanian musical, Velnia Nuotaka, meaning Devil's Bride, was created in 1974 and is considered to be a rock opera. Leading bands of the 1980s were Foje, Antis, Beeks, and Katedra that helped to shape the scenes of punk rock, gothic rock, and new wave going into the 1990s. The Lithuanian music scene changed from rock to pop, with more of a favor towards acoustic and poetic sounds, like those from artists such as Skyle and Aija. In the 2000s, a resurgence in rock, due to an increase in rock music festivals, has caused a number of bands to grow to fame, including Skamp, Žiela, Žalvarnis, and others, who continue to incorporate styles and themes of ancient pagan or folk themes in Lithuanian music. Thanks for watching Explore Music Lithuania. For more information about Lithuania, be sure to check out the links in the description of additional resources and footage. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Explore Music.